how will the bill that just passed Congress affect you? Welcome back, everyone. So as promised, here is the video where we discuss the Inflation Reduction Act, the bill that just cleared both chambers of Congress and is set to be sent to President Biden's desk. Now, this bill encompasses a ton of provisions and will do a lot for the country and the people, although it is debatable about how soon the effects will actually be felt. So in this video, we're going to be discussing everything that you need to know, all the details surrounding the Inflation Reduction Act and how it will impact you. So let's get started and dive right into today's video. But before we do, as always, make sure you guys do a couple things for me. Number one, give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button. If this video does get to 500 likes, we'll do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you lucky subscribers. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed and have those notifications turned on. That bell will notify you every time we do post a brand new video. Also, we'll be doing another cash giveaway once we hit 20,000 subscribers, which could be right around the corner at the pace we're going. You have to be subscribed to be entered in that giveaway. With that being said, let's get started and get right down to it. Also, a quick reminder that our petition for a fourth federal stimulus check is now live, and that link is down below in the description. We announced it a few videos ago, and it's gotten a ton of traction. I appreciate you all that have been sharing it on your social media, sharing it with your friends and family. We've gotten a ton of signatures, but we'll need a lot more if we want to make an impact in this country and make our voices heard. So sign that petition. A link is down below in the description of this video and at the pinned comment on the comment section. So American families are struggling with inflation, the likes of which they have not seen in over 40 years, and the Democratic plan for this is a massive spending and tax bill that is probably mistakenly being called the Inflation Reduction Act. Many on the right are saying it's extreme, out of touch, and in fact insulting to the American people. After months of negotiations, a 730-page version of the bill is now heading to President Biden's desk after it passed the House on Friday. But how exactly will this bill reduce inflation and help the American people? Well, according to the White House, this bill will address inflation in two key ways. Firstly, it will lower energy and healthcare costs for families, and it will also tackle the deficit and hope to bring it down. According to Brian Dees, who is the director of the National Economic Council, he has said in an interview recently that, quote, "And that's why even Democrats and Republicans, former Treasury secretaries, economists across the board have said that this bill will make a positive impact on inflation while tackling some of the biggest and long-standing issues facing our country, like prescription drugs and like tackling climate change." Now, when it comes to the experts, they generally agree that this will modestly slow down the growth of prices, but it may not be in the ways that you might think, and it may not be as quickly either. The bill will ultimately take small steps to bring inflation down to normal levels. It will help the Federal Reserve and generally put us in the right direction. It plans to reduce the federal deficit, which is the difference between how much the US government spends and how much it makes in taxes and revenue. When there's less money floating in the economy, there tends to be less demand and fewer price hikes. The problem is that there are several provisions in the bill that encourage additional new spending, especially when it comes to tackling climate change. And so the net impact when it comes to actually bringing down inflation is unclear right now. It will also promote the production of certain goods, mainly in renewable energy. So having more supply over demand could help to lower costs over time. But again, this may not be quickly. More directly, though, one of the provisions in the bill will limit the price growth of certain prescription drugs. This is by allowing Medicare to negotiate their costs with pharmaceutical companies. But even so, some of the biggest drivers of inflation, such as food and energy costs, are not immediately addressed, and in many cases not at all. Experts widely agree that this bill will not help curb inflation dramatically, nor right away. It definitely will not have an impact over the next few months, and we may not even feel any of the effects until a few years from now. Now, on one hand, the bill does not add to inflation according to some experts, but at the same time, it does not necessarily take it away either. In fact, the nonpartisan CBO, or Congressional Budget Office, scored the bill, also determined that the bill will have a, quote, negligible effect on inflation this year and the next, which means we may not feel the effects until the years of 2024, maybe 2025. But all right, even if the bill has little to no impact on inflation, even though it is called the Inflation Reduction Act, which could be seen as a misnomer and ultimately tokenism from the government, just to show that they did something for the American people ahead of the midterm elections, What else does it actually do? What is the money going towards? Well, this package includes $369 billion in new spending to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, invest in clean energy technologies, and extend subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. The bill also plans to bring in more than $300 billion in new revenue, according to Democrats, by imposing a 15% minimum tax on corporations making over $1 billion and through a new excise tax on corporate stock buybacks. In fact, according to some experts, they believe that this bill should not even be thought of as an inflation bill whatsoever, and rather it should be considered as a bill to help people, whether it's healthcare or through carbon emissions. So no, don't expect a precipitous decline in inflation just because of this bill, but do anticipate a range of measures that will help bring down some of your high costs. For instance, the bill offers a number of tax credits for people switching to cleaner energy sources, including electric vehicles and rooftop solar panels. Those incentives will take place in 2023, and according to Democrats, will mean a 40% cut in greenhouse emissions from 2005 levels by the end of the decade. The IRS, or Internal Revenue Service, will also get a boost in funding, particularly to improve its customer service and tax enforcement. Investment in this area could help alleviate some of the challenges with long response times or getting tax refunds processed. Could also increase the collection of taxes that are currently owed but go unpaid. So if you currently owe taxes or you're trying to evade taxes, well, you're not going to like this bill very much because you might get caught, but maybe you'll expect your tax refund to be processed just a little bit quicker. In addition, millions of Americans will continue to benefit from subsidies that will help with rising health insurance premiums that were originally slated to expire next year. The bill will also put a $2,000 annual cap on out-of-pocket prescription drugs for people insured by Medicare, which will be most impactful for senior citizens with illnesses such as cancer and multiple sclerosis. So yes, prices are high right now, but this bill will actually tackle some of the prices that have been high for households and families for decades in this country. As you're all aware of, we've been dealing with skyrocketing healthcare costs for decades now, and this bill will finally help us in the right direction. Now, one major concern is, will your taxes increase because of this bill? Will you see a tax hike because of the passing of this bill? For the majority of you folks out there, the vast majority of the households watching this right now, you will not see an increase on your taxes. The tax hikes will likely fall on mainly corporations, but indirectly, employees could feel some of these effects. If a company is less profitable, then it is less able to spend more money on labor, and it's less able to provide employees with higher wages. And so that effect will be felt throughout the entire country, and the burden could very well be put on employees indirectly. But according to some economists and some experts, they say do not even expect a slight change in your wages. Since the Tax Cut Act of 2017, economists have not seen a major impact on wages, and so reversing some of that will not affect wages whatsoever. It may even be imperceptible. So yes, we probably won't go backwards as a country with this bill. We'll finally be making some important investments into areas such as climate change and healthcare, which is great for the economy and for the American people, especially in the long term. But I think it would be disingenuous to even call this bill the Inflation Reduction Act. I think the American people will not even feel it at all. They're not going to see even the slightest dent in their grocery bills or their healthcare costs for a long time. Now, with that being said, gas prices have been on the decline, but that's not necessarily because of the efforts of the president or this bill. It's just because gas prices have been steadily falling now for many, many weeks in a row. But what are your thoughts on this bill? Are you in favor of it? Are you against it? Do you think we could be doing more? Do you think this bill is even necessary whatsoever? Definitely let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I'm curious to hear. We'll be sure to update you folks as soon as this bill is signed into law and President Biden puts pen to paper and makes this bill the law of the land, which is expected to happen very soon, especially with the midterm elections now right around the corner. So with that being said, more updates and developments will follow suit. This is your one-stop shop for all news and information. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got value out of it. If you did, share it with a friend, get the word out, spread it on social media. Also, make sure that you sign that petition. Link is down below. Make sure you give this video a tremendous thumbs up. Smash the like button. I'd appreciate that. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed and have those notifications turned on. And if you want to get some free stocks, all free, use the links down below in the description of this video. You sign up with the brokerage platforms, Robinhood and or Webull, you'll get some free stocks, some up to thousands of dollars in some cases. So let us know what stocks you get. And if you want to connect me on social media, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook. Use those links down below. I look forward to meeting you there. I'm also on TikTok now, by the way. Use that link as well if you have a TikTok. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care for now.